Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is actually going to be my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 8, episode 8. Now, we kind of start off with Cynthia, and it's Cynthia and Peter. Cynthia's coming home, and her assistant is actually there, and there's like some really nice roses that have actually been sent by Peter. Of course, Peter's in North Carolina, and he sent her the roses. It was kind of one of those little things, like it was this shady exchange because the assistant was like, you know what, Cynthia, you need to call Peter and tell him, that you love the roses and you appreciate them. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to rebuild on what they had, the goodness that they had. So it was kind of like, okay, girl, give him a call, and you have to egg him on to doing the good things for you and making you feel good. So she ends up calling him, and the exchange, her attitude, I thought was funky. It was like, yeah, I got the roses, yeah, whatever. It was like that. So naturally, we know Peter. Peter's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I'm trying whatever. So it was a really funky exchange, if you ask me, in my opinion. It was a funky exchange. And if this is what you're going to be doing, you're not going to go anywhere. Okay. So later on in the episode, we actually see Peter end up driving in, and he went a step further. He actually had a whole outing set up for her. Had a local artist come in while they actually had some lunch, and they sat and talked. He sketched a picture of them, really, really cute. So much stuff is going on. I guess that Cynthia has gotten so caught up in the bad things that have gone on that she's forgotten all the things that she loved about Peter. Like, she's like, you've never done anything like this before. But we've seen different things that he did, and they actually showed past episodes, flashes of things just like this that he had done. And she's so caught up in the bullshit that has gone on that she literally is forgotten. So I think once he brought her up to speed, was like, no, remember this and remember that and remember that. She was like, damn. And I think she did like a self check. She checked herself. And I really think Peter and Cynthia are going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay. Um, no more this funky exchange back and forth. And that's just a lesson to folks that are actually in relationships. I'm not. I'm actually not in a relationship, but I can speak on it because I've been in a relationship and I know what was missing in the relationship and some of the shit that went wrong. Married folks have to continue to date each other. It is just necessary. If you got a husband and a wife, or two husbands or two wives or whatever you got going on, if you two don't date each other on a regular, y'all ain't gonna be together, and shit ain't gonna work. It's gonna get old, it's gonna get stale, it's gonna get dry. So as soon as something bad goes on, it's just gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and you'll be just like Cynthia. You'll be in a position where you're not remembering the good shit, and all you're doing is focusing on the bad shit. And I think that's kind of where they are, and I think Cynthia kind of seen that, and I think they're gonna be okay. Nod and said it, and that's that. Keep dating your husbands. Because if you don't date your husband, another bitch will be happy to date your motherfucking husband. And the person that dates the husband is the one that keeps the motherfucking husband. Y'all remember that. Moving on. Okay, so then we got Candy and Don Juan actually went down and met with Roger Bob and Demetria McKinney. Candy and Demetria have actually joined forces, and they're actually working on Demetria's album. Candy and Demetria actually have a single, and that's actually going to be her first single. So they were talking about shooting the video. And Don Juan is doing his job. He's wanting to make sure everything's going to be okay, pulling out all the punches because we know Candy's an old bitch having a baby. It's a high risk pregnancy. Ain't no need beating around the bush. It is what it is. This bitch can't do but so much. So I'm just here to make sure you don't try to put too much on her because the baby comes first. Period. That's Don Juan's job. So he was doing his job. I didn't have a problem with it. Candy was kind of fussing, you know what I mean? Because she always likes to run. She thinks she's the ever ready battery bunny, and she thinks she could just go, 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 and she won't stop until she falls down. And I understand that. But Don Juan's like, no, bitch, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna make sure it's done to where you can get what you need and they can get what they need and everybody's cool. He's doing his job for a change. It's cool. So I didn't think that he was overprotective. I think he was doing a wonderful job, personally. So that was all it was about. The meeting was about the video shoot, the release of the single, and the baby's safety. Bam, no problem. Good scene. Again, this is reality. This is stuff. This is the cool things about Real Housewives of Atlanta, when you actually get to see the actual business model and the real things that are actually going on in their life. Okay, Phaedra. Phaedra had, let's talk about this little scene here. Buns, if y'all remember Buns was like Apollo's best friend. His real best friend. Not like friends how he is with Peter, like his real best friend. Buns actually came over to the house and brought like gifts. He had like tennis shoes for the boys and leather jackets and all that kind of thing. And it was really cute. You got to see he's a decent friend, you know what I mean? And he talked to Phaedra and he was kind of reassuring her that Apollo actually does love her and reminding her of how much he actually did care for her when they were getting started. And he talked about time when they were actually in the pen together and how he used to talk about her and how I couldn't wait to get back out to her and get with her and all that stuff. So just reassuring her of the love that Apollo actually does have for her. Buns is a good friend, and that was kind of cool to see. You know, she's telling him, you know, like, you can see she's bitter. You know, she's bitter about some things and all that. And I think Buns saying that, and he just was trying to put his spin on it to try to help. Like, don't be bitter. Don't turn him off. You know, he's saying that you're not letting him call and stuff like that. She's like, he's lying. He's like, no problem. He didn't accuse her of anything. He didn't even get in it like that. He's just like, you know what? He loves you. He loves these boys. Y'all had something really, really good. And, you know, it was very, very positive. And that's always been Buns in our eyes that we've seen, because even when things were going crazy before Apollo turned himself in, Buns was the voice of reason. Buns came and got him and said, get your ass up out of here. Let's go. You know what I mean? And he didn't get in their shit. And still, he's not getting in their shit. He's on the outside but saying, you know what, y'all got something worth fighting for. Boom. And that's it. Because that's what a good friend would do. And I thought that was pretty cool. That was some cool reality to see. I don't think that was scripted or anything like that. I thought that was pretty genuine. Another thing that was very genuine that actually was very touching to watch, because everybody who's ever parented, especially a single parent or mothers, you know, I was a single parent, so more so mothers and single fathers would be able to relate to this. The first day of your child going to kindergarten, and I've gone through this twice with my boys going to kindergarten, and I watched as Phaedra was actually driving baby Aiden on to school, because they're not baby anymore, driving Aiden to school for the first time, going to kindergarten, and that was actual reality TV. You all got to see, we got to peek in and see actual reality TV and actually see Phaedra Parks, the actual Phaedra Parks, and all of her flaws and all of her woman. You know what I mean? It wasn't all the made up and the reading and the this, that, and the other. It was just literally her and baby Aiden having a conversation about his feelings about going to school, and we're getting to see her face of exactly what she was going through with him going to school, and we got to see how normal that Phaedra actually is, because I think every last one of us who have ever been single fathers or mother, anybody that's had to go directly and drop their child off at school like that for a full day for the first time, you could relate to her and exactly what she was going with. So it created a real side of Phaedra for us. Fuck all the bullshit. Fuck all the sideways shit she does in her 22 businesses and her, you know, she got dead people in the basement and strippers upstairs and motherfuckers cashing checks and paying her in the parking lot. All that shit. It put all that shit to the side, and you got to see Phaedra the woman dealing with her child. Actual wow reality TV, something that we don't really see that often, reality TV. So this was good. This was a pretty good episode as far as reality TV goes, and less the drama and more of the real shit. So that was good. That was a good look. Okay, moving on. Okay, so here goes some more reality. Portia and that motherfucking Oliver. She's still keeping in touch with Oliver. okay? So we basically get to see it is what it is, and the reality of the situation is Oliver ain't thinking about that motherfucking Portia. Oliver wants to fuck Portia, and Portia wants to be fucked by Oliver. But Portia's telling herself, "Oh yeah, he really likes me because she's a goon. She's a goon. He don't like you. He wants to stick his dick in you sideways, just like everybody else. Because that's how you present yourself, you stupid bitch. You put yourself out there, titties and ass first, and then you expect somebody to want to get to know you. Don't nobody want to get to know you after they done got your pussy. It's just those were I didn't make the rules, and I don't even do pussy. That's the rules. One, if you leave with your pussy, you finish with your pussy. That's it. Don't nobody care what's behind it. Once they get some of the nappy dug out, they don't care nothing about what your aspirations in life are. No one cares. So you keep on jumping into relationships, jumping into situations, leading pussy first, and all you're going to get is a wet ass. I promise you. I promise you, stupid ass. And that was all it was. She asked him something about a relationship, child. The whole goddamn screen was giving crickets. Crickets. Oh, my first black girl you dated? No, well, I've dealt with black girls before, but I never was in a relationship with one. Yeah, that's what he was trying. He told you. He told you exactly. I have stuck my dick in some black box, and I want to do it some more. I want to stick my dick in your black box. Thank you. Hello. Where you giving? She's just stupid. She's just stupid. You walking around. I mean, just on Skype, titties out. Leading with your pussy, ending with your pussy. Trust me. Anyway, and we see Marlo and Kenya hanging out at the gym. They run into this guy, Matt. Matt hangs out at the gym too. Matt's a big old cute old motherfucker that I don't know. I think Matt, I was trying to look and trying to really catch it, and we seen way too much of Matt. Like we met Matt and we seen way too much of Matt, okay? I was like, Matt, get it together. But anyway, real cute big old thing. And but I think he's a little cockeyed. I kept trying to catch that. I think they was trying to, fix it up. Matt, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I kept looking and I said, Matt looked a little cockeyed to me, but that's okay. Or maybe his eyes are too close together or something. Something going on. But he is cute though. He's cute. We can get him some glasses, hook him up, fix him up. But big old tall thing. He's interested in Kenya. Marlo's like, girl, you better jump on that and quit your playing, honey. Kenya's all like, and she keeps going back saying something about he doesn't have everything that I want that's on my list. Y'all know I already told y'all don't get ready to read. Yes, he doesn't have everything that you want on your list, Kenya. He don't have a pussy. So that's one big thing that's on your list that he don't have. I believe Kenya is a lap licker. And you're not going to find that. You're not going to find a man looking for a woman. You're just not going to do it. But anyway, so, and I think it was a lot of thing about money, that money and those material things. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Stop it. No, I'm not saying go get you this broke motherfucker. But obviously, if he's hanging in the same places that you're hanging, he got a little something that he can work with. But anyway, he asked her on a date. Marlo talks her into she accepted the date. Now, I don't know about that little date. Now, he ain't took her nowhere and spent no money on her. He took her to play basketball, But he didn't disrespect her. He was he was cool on a date. I thought it was a cute date. It really was. It was a cute little date. But again, she kept going back to this thing of, I thought she was just kind of shady. It was like, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. So the three things that I'm looking at that maybe he doesn't have, that she's talking about is money, material things, and a clitoris. So, girl, look, you're going to have to move and maneuver your little list a little bit, or bitch, you're going to be lonely. So, that's it. That's all I got for that. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so when they did the video release party, the video shoot, we did a video. They did a video shoot. Everything went really, really well. Candy looked really good. Whoever the stylist was hooked Candy up. She had an oversized rectangular cut blouse and a pair of real hot high boots. They were beaded and high boots, real sharp. Her hair was good. She looked good. She looked good. She really did. Y'all know I be letting Candy have the first thing the bitch wanted to do at the studio doing the video shooting. It was Derek Blanks too. So you know that shit was gonna be right. Um, that bitch wanted to eat. She always want to fucking eat. She a greedy bitch. But they hooked her up. He really hooked her up. She looked really, really good. Anyway, so okay, so we go to the video release party. Candy and Todd and already had some conversation about that whole money situation with Phaedra. I'm like, I'm so tired of that. Y'all sound like two fucking bitter, crazy bitches. Keep on bringing that shit up. If it's really that big of a problem, just sue Phaedra and get it over with. Stop this bullshit back and forth and going to places. Todd, you sounding like a bitch, like you competing for a peach, bitch. Every time there's a function, here you go about this money she owe you, motherfucker. If it's a problem about the money, fucking sue her. Go to small claims court, fucking sue her for your money and get your money. But all of this running to events and acting like a bitch, cut it out, motherfucker. And I don't know why nobody's speaking on it. Now, when Peter goes to a function, Twitter blows up. Everybody's talking about Peter. You know, but Todd's get on my motherfucking nerves. You want your money, and you can't just ask for it and get it. Fucking take her to court. Go see Judge Judy, bitch. Moving on. So they go and they get their little stuff together. They go to the party. As soon as they go to the party, oh shit, that motherfucking Kenya, first she goes and sees, oh Peter. And she look cute too. She had this cute red lace dress on. Oh Peter, are we cool? And Peter's like, yeah, we cool. Bitch, anybody entertaining your bullshit? Sit your ass down. So that was funny because I was like, boy, that could get started. But nobody was giving Kenya no play. Anybody giving her play. Sit your motherfucking monkey ass down. So then they go up on the mic, Demetria and Candy, and they're going to talk. And Demetria had a real cute dress, too short. It was screaming hooker. And I think she's such a talented, pretty girl, just too short. You know, a dress can be too short when your legs are too long. Because as soon as when they showed her from here up, I said, damn, she looks good, And I'm always rooting for her because that bitch can take her motherfucking face off. And as soon as they panned down that side, I said, man, she looked like if she walked by, you would smell her goddamn box. That dress was just too short. Cute dress. But if it had been a little bit longer, it would have been cool. Anyway, they go up and they speak, the welcome to people and then introduce the video. Candy, our motherfucking monkey ass, gets up there and sends out a subliminal message about working with friends and funds and all of that. Really, Candy? Really? Phaedra caught it. Phaedra caught the shade. She caught it. And it was a subliminal message being sent from Candy. It was messy as hell. And you bitch, you had talked about it before you left home. You were being shady. You were. And then when you were there with Phaedra, they were there sharing water and everything. Everything was cool. And then Todd come in and you take your motherfucking ass up there and send that subliminal message. That was shady as fuck. Anyway, and I don't care what anybody says. It was shady. And Phaedra caught it. Y'all are friends. That bitch knows you. She knows you. She knows your shade, bitch. Anyway, so that went off without a hitch. The video's nice. It looked really good. Everybody kind of liked it. The way it was, I have to see the video in its entirety, but the way that the splicing took place and what we saw made it look like it was kind of shady because it made it look like it was Candy's video and Demetria was the co-star. That's for what we saw. That's how it was spliced up for the show. A little shady, especially with the fact that Demetria has already been on the show before. She was on the show last season. I didn't care for that too much, but I need to see it in its whole entirety. Even with the pieces of the song they were playing, all we're hearing is, we hear Candy, in her voice. And then you hear Demetria. It just sounded like Demetria was the co-star. And Portia was saying, oh yeah, Candy made that video, this, that, thing, and the other, and all that. Shady. And then I was laughing because she's like, I can't even remember in her confessionals that motherfucking Portia. I can't even remember the song or what how it goes, but I think it's gonna be a hit. So Portia, Portia, are you actually like you're a music mogul at this point? You have the nerve to be talking about, oh, it's just cute. What's your single do? I'll wait. Moving the fuck on. Anyway, Kim Fields, her husband finally got to meet Todd and Peter. So he got to meet the guys in the group. And it was funny because Peter and Todd get over the corner and they got Kim's husband and they start having a bitch fest going on talking about Portia. And Kim's husband was looking at them like, okay, I could stay over there with the girls. I said, yes, you're right. Even he was giving, child, y'all need to turn y'all flame down some. But that motherfucking Kenya in her confessional said, because Kim came in, Kim was, trying to do it up a little bit. She had her hair pulled up and old platinum, a bun. It was messy, but that was one of the better of her hair choices. She had on like hot pants and a sequin blouse, and she had on a thigh high boot, or a knee high boot, a boot that went right over her knee. It's a little over the knee, little number. And it was cool. She actually she fit in for a change. That motherfucking Kenya said that the bitch looked at like a confused prostitute at Disney World. Just shady. I didn't think Kim looked that bad. I thought this is the first time that she actually looked like she fit into the group and fit in with the people in the room where she was going and didn't look like she was getting ready to go to a PTA meeting. I thought she looked cool. Anyway, after the whole thing with that, go outside. Phaedra had actually seen Todd and told Todd, you know what? Hey, good to see you. If you have a minute, stop past the office and let's have some chat. Stop past the office. So that was cool. And Todd was like, okay, cool. But then it wasn't just cool because then he goes to the purchase candy. Did you say something to Phaedra? Blah, blah, blah. They go into their bullshit. So Phaedra goes outside. Now this is where I ain't with you, Phaedra, because now you go outside. Now you have a conversation with Portia and Shamia. And Shamia, I don't know who did her makeup. Well, she probably did it herself. Her makeup, horrible. Horrible. It looked like she was outside playing in mud pies. Moving on. They're having a conversation about, Portia and Phaedra were kind of going on about the whole thing, and Phaedra was leading them to believe that she paid Todd in full and all this, and that she was saying that she had caught the subliminal message and all of that. But her and Todd was going to have a little conversation and all that. She's basically gossiping, and that little piece of the conversation really wasn't even necessary, and especially when you're lying, Phaedra. You didn't pay him in full, bitch. So why would you lead them to believe that you did? All of that was unnecessary. You could have just went down that damn stairwell and went on and got in your car and went the fuck on home because you had an order. Everything was cool. You had an order, but you didn't know they was being shady behind the scene anyway. So they're out there talking. Well, just as if that wasn't messy enough, we got Don Juanya walking around as she's trolling, and he's listening and eavesdropping. And my grandmother always told me, eavesdroppers never hear nice motherfucking things. They don't. If you're eavesdropping, you're going to hear something you're not supposed to hear. You're going to hear something that's not for you. But it's not for you to always put yourself in it. Don Juanya took it upon herself and then rolled on up on them three, confronting them about talking about Candy. Fuck Candy, Don Juan, and fuck you. Because she ain't no better. Just like Candy sits with you and Carmen and talks about Phaedra, Candy's not exempt from some motherfucker talking about her greedy ass. And it wasn't that they were saying anything really bad. They weren't saying anything bad about Candy. But, he's all trying to get a peach. And he just went there. And Portia, Portia, she tries to play like she's this Georgia peach. That bitch is just about it. Portia's ghetto as a motherfucker. And Portia's like being all condescending and saying, well, what's the problem, Don Juan? And all she was doing was pissing him off more and more. And he basically went off on Portia and ended up like yelling and talking about her man leaving her and all this kind of carrying on, which should further let her know, yeah, Candy fucking talks about you too, Don Juanya. That whole thing. He was just so out of order as far as I was concerned. No, they weren't right for sitting out there talking about that, and I said that. But Don Juanya, ain't nobody asked you nothing. Ain't nobody asked you nothing, Lady Marmalade. Nobody asked you nothing. Go get a piece of pie and sit down. And then just attack him for a while. What were you trying to gain by arguing back and forth with Portia about some shit about Candy? It ain't got nothing to do with you. And that's what Portia was like, it's nothing to do with you. Then she's like, Don Juan has his pink panties in a bunch. She ready. She really did. She read his ass down. And she's like, oh, he just needs to put his tampon, go change his tampon. Or whatever. And I was like, oh, child, she let him have it. But again, he deserved it because he attacked Portia. And I don't like Portia, and y'all know that. Y'all know I do not care for Portia at all. But tonight, Portia wasn't wrong. We were doing what girls do. We were chit-chatting and bitching. And that's what girls do. And he implemented himself into their shit. And he had no business. So, fuck you, Don Juanya. You need to mind your motherfucking business. And let Candy handle her stuff. And for the record, Candy is not exempt from being talked about. Nobody gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. And I didn't like that shirt that Todd had on either. I don't know what the fuck that shirt was all about. It kind of reminded me of a mattress cover. I didn't like it. I just thought it looked hot. And yeah, now if somebody in Alaska had it on, maybe, but Atlanta, no ma'am, Miss Todd. No ma'am. Anyway, that's all I got. This is what happened. We're going to actually go into next week. You know, I usually don't say nothing about what goes on next week, but all that bullshit, Don Juanya really gets it started up next week with her fucking ass. I'm all sick of him. Anyway, thumbs up, thumbs down. Y'all know how that works. I will see you guys next week when we get to see the implode of the bullshit of Don Juanya. All right, later. Bye, guys.